Hi, my name is Claire and welcome to another kind of content that I do now. Apparently. My name is Claire. If you don't know me, I'm an Irish YouTuber living in Ireland. If you do know me, thanks for coming back. In case you're not aware of the story, there's a YouTube couple that have 1 million subscribers that had a dog and they now no longer have a dog because they decided to put the dog down. And this has caused consternation across the internet. And so I wanted to watch this video with you and talk about it. First of all, can we take a hot second to look at the thumbnail? He looks like he's crying in the thumbnail. She looks like she's having a cry attack. She looks like she's like...
Hi guys. I feel awkward. You already know, I mean, by the title. Well, no, you don't know by the title, but you know if you follow us on Instagram.
It's so key here that she says, you already know this if you follow us on Instagram, because they had a fucking photo shoot with the dog. So before we even get into the story of the fact that they've put their dog down and why they put their dog down, you need to know that they did a photo shoot with this dog, a last day photo shoot. Just keep that in mind as we go through this video. By the way, the worst thing about this whole situation is that the dog's already dead. So we can go on and we can talk all day, every day about whether they were wrong or they were right, but it's an irreversible decision. The dog's dead.
We had to put Bowser to sleep.
Had to. Had no choice, in fact.
This was not a decision we came to lightly.
Not a decision we came to lightly, except let me just tell you how lightly we came to it.
Many years, for most of his life, he was an extremely dangerous animal outside the walls of my house.
First red flag, he's referring to his pet dog that he's had for almost 10 years as an animal. It's a deliberate attempt to separate this dog from a pet, an animal, like a wild animal.
Well, and Bowser was attacked when he was a puppy, and we never really talked about that very much. But that was a big turning point in Bowser's personality.
Oh, was he attacked by like a strange dog on the walk? Like there's nothing that you could have done?
And he was attacked by another bull terrier, actually my parents' old bull terrier.
Attacked by a family dog, attacked by your parents' dog. That tells me that both you and your parents are irresponsible dog owners. So you should have introduced them better. You should have been more in charge there. That's 100% your fault. And then you go on to be like, well, and then he just had issues for the rest of his life. Bring him to a dog trainer. If you re-socialized him, you brought him to a trainer young enough, you actually could have minimized the effect that that would have had in his life. But even if you didn't do that, you can still effectively manage a reactive dog, no problem, if you're willing to put the time and work in, but you clearly weren't.
It's something that can happen with the breed.
There's an awful lot of casual breed racism throughout this.
We could have put Bowser down a really long time ago. And several times.
Major red flag. We could have killed the dog loads of times. We could have killed him years ago. We could have killed him several times over, but we just kept putting it off.
He's seriously injured a couple different dogs.
So vague, you know? There'd been loads of incidences. Could have killed him loads of times. Also, he says that Bowser the pit bull injured Zoe, their chihuahua.
He's seriously injured a couple different dogs, including Zoe, who's standing right here.
Is this you, Dan? This is you, right? This is you in a different video that people dug out of your social media, shoving a distressed, aggressive chihuahua in your pit bull's face. In that clip, to me, it seems like Bowser's the only one who comes out of that clip well.
Do you not want to share the specifics of that?
Do you not want to share specifics of this, like, really traumatic incident we've had?
He grabbed onto Bowser's ear, and Bowser didn't do anything. You know, he's that calm, gentle giant that lives in my house. But you know, Logan got him so good that if you know what an MMA fighter looks like or a wrestler, they have that cauliflower ear, just balloons up. That's what happened to Bowser's ear.
If you know what an MMA fighter looks like, that's what the dog looked like after coming out of a few rounds as a kid.
There was one incident that happened. Bowser got Logan in the face, and it actually happened 20 minutes before we were supposed to leave to the airport.
Why is that relevant? They put in an awful lot of information, it's not relevant. It was 20 minutes before we went to the airport. We were just about to move. We're going to get to that part in a minute, but there's a lot of superfluous information in here that I really feel belies their true intentions. It was so inconvenient for them here that the dog bit the child just before they were going to go to the airport.
It wasn't bad, but Logan still is...
has a little mark.
He's still healing up from a little mark on his face.
I'm not saying you should let your pit bulls bite your children. That's not what I'm saying. But you as a parent need to set boundaries for your child around dogs. You need to teach your child from a young age how to approach dogs, how to deal with dogs, how to recognize a dog's warning signs. Even these parents don't recognize a dog's warning signs because they're like, Bowser tried to get away. Bowser would growl and run away, and then the child would chase him into a corner and corner him and pull at his ears, and it's like, that's where you should intervene as the dog owner and the parent and take the child out of the situation and then explain to the child why what they did is wrong and why they should never do it again. These two are terrible dog owners, and frankly, they're not great parents either. Oh my God, there's a picture here of the dog being absolutely vicious.
Yeah, it happened in a moment where Logan stole food from him.
So not only did we not set boundaries for the child not to pull the dog's ears until the dog's ears look like a cauliflower, we also actually let the child just take the dog's food, which is like the #1 dog owner thing. You do not take a dog's food.
Like that lady said, you're always waiting for the worst thing to happen. Is it going to get to a point to where someone else has to put him down, or I'm forced to do it because of something that horrible happened?
They're talking an awful lot like this putting down was inevitable. You're always waiting for the worst thing to happen, you know, and you're saying, will someone else have to put him down or will I?
Sorry, you look like you're about to segue into something.
No, go ahead.
This is really weirdly edited. Why have they left in all the bits of her being like, oh, sorry, do you want to talk?
So, I mean, geez, I have so many thoughts around this.
That feels deliberately done to make her like this sympathetic figure. They leave in the, oh, close the window, close the door, to make it feel like a sort of really off the cuff, honest heart-to-heart video.
As you guys know, we're getting ready to move.
Oh, this is my favorite bit.
You know, we weren't sure what was going to happen with Bowser, because every time we move with Bowser, it is hard because he's special needs, like he said. So there's a lot that goes into transporting Bowser and even picking a new home for Bowser. Like, there's a lot to consider in that. And so it was really like, it was weird to have him attack Logan, you know, right before we're going to different places to possibly look to move.
It's so weird that this dog, that we clearly consider an inconvenience, attacked our kid right before we would have had to go out of our way to move him from one place to another. The fact that she said we didn't know what was going to happen with Bowser because we're just about to move. Who says that? How did you not know what was going to happen with Bowser before he attacked the kid? Imagine if I moved house and was like, not sure if I'm going to bring you.
We actually attempted to rehome Bowser.
So they've already attempted to rehome him. So this was a foregone conclusion. They didn't want Bowser anymore.
He was our cloud angel. Like,
yet he was a cloud angel. Okay.
I don't, it's, sorry if I'm awkward. It's just finding the words are really awkward because it's, you know, emotional.
Just fucking be honest. You're not emotional one bit. Like, just, the dog was fucking annoying, so we put him down.
And we contacted the Humane Society. Basically, she made it clear to us that rehoming Bowser was not an option because he had been with us from birth, basically.
I don't believe this for a second. I don't believe for a second that the Humane Society said that it was impossible to rehome a dog. Maybe America's different. I'm in Ireland. Here we have a real culture of adoption. Senior dogs are rescued, put up for adoption, and adopted all the time here. And so maybe there's context I'm missing around the way that the American adoption system works, but I don't believe that the Humane Society said that a 9-year-old dog couldn't be rehomed. I don't believe that for a second. I really want the Humane Society to address this and release a statement and let us know. Did they really say that? Did they really say that a 9-year-old pit bull was impossible to rehome it?
Apparently, from what we're gathering now, when you rehome a dog, it's still like your liability if the dog were to attack someone.
There is no fucking way that that's the law. I love the way she's like, from what we're gathering, as in, we have not done this research prior, we're just Googling stuff now.
I mean, seriously, the guy that came over to help us with Bowser's passing, to put Bowser down, he's from Australia.
One of the biggest questions I had about this video at the start was what qualified vet would agree to put a dog down for absolutely no reason? And here's my answer. He wasn't a qualified vet.
That was one of the first things he said when he got there, was he was like, whoa, these are the dogs that are used to hunt hogs because they're so strong. And he's like, you're so lucky that this didn't result in anything worse. And
this guy that we got from Australia came over and was like, crikey, Matt, that's a fucking hog killer right there. You're fucking lucky he didn't rip your faces off in the middle of the night. I've lost it now. I've lost the accent.
That was what the woman on the phone had said. We kind of relayed to her all of the instances where Bowser had shown aggression and we were scared. And by the end, she was like, it sounds like you're just waiting for Bowser's worst attack to happen.
We've relayed to her all of the incidences where we allowed our child to aggravate a dog and cross the dog's boundaries, and she was like, yeah, no, sounds to me like he's a lost case. You have to put that shit down.
Yeah, I mean, we thought about 5 years ago that we were going to have to put Bowser down after an aggression.
Why didn't you rehome him 5 years ago? If it's impossible to rehome a 9-year-old dog, why didn't you rehome a 5-year-old dog? Instead of thinking for 5 years and being like, what, can we do it now? Or it was like euthanasia roulette. When are we going to do it? Also, if your kid is not even 5, why did you even consider having to put the dog down 5 years ago? If it's because of the way the dog's interacting with the kid.
In some ways, it's been anticipated for a really long time. And in others, it was completely shocking.
Specifically, 5 years ago, we thought, this is it. But yet, this was so shocking, and it never crossed my mind that we would have to put him down.
But after, getting counsel from multiple professionals who are with dogs all the time.
Multiple professionals who are with dogs all the time. Like, they're flat out with dogs, they never stop dogging.
Well, nobody knows how to take care of Bowser except for me.
What?
Once another dog barks outside from around the neighborhood, or he hears a jingle from a dog collar, he's bipolar, so he goes into this other mode. Okay,
so first of all, the dog is not bipolar. I really appreciate if we didn't throw around valid mental health diagnoses like that. The dog is not bipolar. The dog is reactive.
I have to save himself from himself.
It's also really, really freaking me out how they're using present tense to talk about this dog.
I'm gonna close that door.
See, I'm gonna close that door. Like, cut that shit out.
A lot of you guys have asked us since we've had Logan how Logan has done with the dogs. And we've told all of you over and over again that he's been fine with them. And I just want to clarify that that wasn't a lie.
I just want to say, I didn't outright lie. I'm lying now.
It got harder the older he got because, when he was a baby, it was like Bowser wasn't going to go out of his way to aggress on Logan. So everything was fine.
Yeah, when the kid was a baby, he barely annoyed the dog at all. But when he started walking and talking and being able to pull the dog's ears, that's when it got a bit oh, maybe as parents we should step in. But we didn't.
But once he got older and he could move and he got feistier, it was Logan in Bowser's space. And Logan couldn't help but grab at him and try to steal things from him and try to interrupt him when he was eating or scream at him.
This is a couple of minutes of her going, I cannot set boundaries as a parent. I cannot set boundaries.
If Bowser's in the mood and his attention is on him, he'll walk over to Bowser. And Bowser doesn't want to get grabbed on, so he knows he has to get up and move. And if Logan follows him, it's a growl and move. And so I gotta split them up.
So they're saying that the dog gave several warning signs, over a multitude of incidences. The only people who are at fault here are these two parents for this. It's not the kid's fault and it's not the dog's fault. It's their fault.
It's not like we scheduled him to get put down the day we got back from vacation.
What a weird fucking thing to say. Why would you even say that?
No. We hadn't even thought about it still when we left. We were just like, Bowser's got to get out of here. He's got to be rehomed. This is not the appropriate home for him.
We hadn't even thought about it. When we left on holiday, we were like, Bowser's got to be rehomed. This is not the right home for him. But we hadn't even thought about putting him down. And it's not like we scheduled it the minute we got back from holidays or anything.
In the moment, I'm thinking, I grew up with the movie Old Yeller, and I wanted to pick Bowser up by the back of the neck and take him into the backyard and put him down right there.
Okay, so from what I gather, this happened 20 minutes before they're due to go to the airport. That's why that was mentioned. So this whole 30-minute video is about the same incident. She's saying that they left for holidays thinking, okay, we need to rehome Bowser. Whereas he's saying, I watched this film where this beloved family dog was shot by his owner and I wanted to bring him out the back and just shoot him right there and then. The two stories that they are telling at the very same time as each other are not adding up. You did consider killing this dog. You didn't consider doing it with a vet, but you did consider killing this dog. You didn't go on holiday thinking he needs to be rehomed. You wanted to shoot the dog. Why is this still up? Why did they think this is a good idea to upload?
We didn't have kids for, what, how many years of our marriage? 11, 12 years of our marriage?
What fucking age are these people? If they're married 12 years and the dog is only 9, how is it not both of their dogs? When the way she kept going, he was your dog. I thought he bought the dog before he met her.
So Bowser really was like, he was our kid in our kidless years.
He was our kid in our kidless years, but then we like had an actual kid. You know what I'm saying? So. I just don't believe that for a second. Like, that's how a child thinks sadness looks like.
Like I mentioned, we did it at our house, so we paid for the anesthesiologist to come over. He had had another dog of his in the past that had to be put down because of illness and age, and you know, had to do it the more traditional way at the facility, and we were just like, we couldn't do that.
Too busy to bring the dog to the vet and get it done properly, or just let me shoot him. Just let me shoot him in the back garden. Fuck it. Let's make the child watch.
And then we're stressed. We're like having to call them ahead of time and be like, okay, we're about to come in the door. Is everyone secure?
I'm sorry. Were you pulling off a bank heist or bringing the dog to the vet?
It was the worst day. It was amazing because, you know,
I got an Instagram photo shoot out of it.
We didn't want to do this, obviously.
We didn't want to do this, obviously. We just thought about it non-stop for 10 years, particularly for the last 5.
Now I think the bull terrier is my favorite animal, period.
I think the bull terrier is my favorite animal, period, even though I've consistently throughout this video dropped really casual breed racism. Both of these people are incredibly unlikable. There, I said it.
So he said things that I don't want to forget, and I will never forget about McBowsen.
How much I wanted to kill him for 10 years.
Say bye, Zoe.
Say bye, Zoe, because you're next. Ever since this video went viral, she's gotten a lot more views on her previous videos, and actually they've been dislike bombed, I can just see here, which is interesting. Her last 3 videos are on like 75, 65 and 47k views, but when I first came across this video, it was only on about 100,000 views when I watched it, and I checked her channel at the time and all her previous videos were only between 15,000 views and 25,000 views. So she has got a massive influx of views off of the back of this video going viral. I totally understand what it's like to be a YouTuber that has a big subscriber number but nowhere near as many views per video. And that's something that happens to creators who are a long time on this platform, because you change, your content changes, people change, and they outgrow you, or they're not interested in what you're making anymore. And that's the way that it works. She has 1.2 million subscribers, but she's only really getting between 15,000 and 25,000 views per video. So I guess congratulations on your first million view video in a long time, it seems. So I guess that makes more sense now why she hasn't taken it down. Sorry that the angle is different. I had to change the battery. Long story short, fuck these guys. They suck. If there's a list somewhere of people that should not have dogs, their names should be up there. Please subscribe if you liked this type of content from me. Please give it a like and let me know. And if you didn't, feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know as well. Please consider supporting the channel on Patreon. I upload extra content there for the exclusive content club tier and above. If you're not in a position to support me on Patreon, I do have a Ko-fi where you can buy my drinking game that I made, or buy me a pint to say like the videos. And I've got a merch shop as well. The link is down below in the description. Alright, that's it from me today. I'm going to go and try and de-rage. Maybe drink some tea or something. I'm definitely going to go hug my dog who left the room in a huff. That she wasn't getting enough attention. Me. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you might like this video or this video. And I shall see you in the next one. Slán slán.